Hi everyone, it's Olivia from Girlybunches, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made this cute little basket. Really easy, simple to do, and it's quite effective, as you can see, if you use different colours. Obviously you don't have to use these bright colours, but I like using bright colours, so that's what I did. And it's just a really simple method which I'm going to get into straight away and show you how I made this. So this is the yarn that I'm going to be using, and this is going to be the working yarn. So it's the yarn that I actually work with the crochet hook, and then this is the cord yarn that I'm going to be putting in between this working yarn. So the hook size you want to use is the hook that you should use for your working yarn, because that's what you're actually going to be working. Scissors, and then I've got this piece of contrasting yarn here as a stitch marker. You can use any kind of stitch marker you like. I actually prefer just counting the stitches, but I appreciate that that's not always easy, and you can sometimes lose your place, so because somebody will rudely interrupt you, won't they? And I just like to use a bit of thread for a stitch marker. So we're going to start off the round using the working yarn. I'm going to do 4 chains. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to do a slip stitch into that first chain to make a loop. You could do a magic loop here, but I'm just doing the chains. So that's my slip stitch to make my loop there. Now I'm going to do 1 chain, and then I'm going to do 6 double crochets into that loop. So I'm British and I call them doubles. You may know them as singles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more, 6. Just pull the hook out there and just pull that tail just as tight as you can. And now we're ready to continue. Now we're going to not going to do a join and as such, we're just going to keep working in the round. So we're not going to do a slip stitch here, we're just going to keep working the double crochets. So the next round will be just all increases. So we started off with 6. I'm going to do 2 double crochets into each of those stitches to give us 12. So we're going to do an increase on every round until we start to build up the sides. So here I'm going to now add in the cord. So I'm not going to put a stitch marker on this first bit because it's a bit, got a lot going on here. We're introducing the cord, we've still got our working on, so I'm not just going to put the stitch marker in just yet because it's only quite a simple round to work. So make sure you've got your working yarn in your hand. You give yourself a little bit of a tail of the cord, and we're just going to start working 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And you want to make sure that the cord yarn is trapped between this top yarn here. So the yarn that you grab with the hook is over the top and it's grabbed it, and there's our first double crochet. I'm going to do another double crochet into that same stitch. So that's 2 stitches, and now I want to do another 10. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 to finish off that round. So into the next stitch, grab the yarn, make sure it's capturing that corded yarn, and just work your 2 double crochets into the next stitch. One more time, put the hook into the stitch from the row below and make your increase of 2 double crochets. So what have I got now? 2, 4, 6. 8. 10, and then just 2 more into that last stitch there. And that gives me 12 stitches, which are 6 increases from the previous round. So if I just turn that over, I've got my tail end of my cord yarn here sticking out and my cord yarn of my working yarn. I'm just going to pull those a little bit, make sure they're all nice and firm. And I'm ready to now work the 3rd round. So the third round now we're going to do an increase stitch and then one stitch, so that's 3. Then we'll do an increase and then just one stitch, so that's another 3. So we want to have a total of 18 stitches when we get back round to the beginning. So to know where the beginning is, this is where I'm going to introduce my stitch marker yarn. So I'm just popping that in, just tucking that in there, and that is going to show me where that round starts in case I lose count, which we can all do. So again, I'm going to do my increase, making sure I've got my corded yarn trapped there with that yarn over the top, and I'm going to do my increase of 2 stitches. That's my second, whoops, sorry. And then I'm just going to do 1 stitch into there, which is the next stitch along, and then I'm going to make my increase, 1, 2, and then 1 into the next stitch, 3. So I'm just going to keep going round until I get to the beginning, and I should have completed 18 stitches. And then 1, an increase, and 1, an increase, and 1, and then we've just got 2 more stitches to work, and I'm going to do my increase and then 1. So that's my third round with my 18 stitches, and then with the stitch marker yarn I'm just going to pull it through a little bit and then just pull it to the front. So now I know that that's where that row starts. So the fourth round we're going to do an increase into the next stitch, so that's this one. We're going to do 2 here, 1, 2, and I'm going to do 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then I'm going to do an increase, 1, 2, and then 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So by the time I finish this round there should be 24 stitches, and I will come back when I get back round to here doing my 2 into the next one and then 1, 2, so that's 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just keep going until you get back round to the beginning, and that's where I will join you. So here's my fourth round completed, and I've got 24 stitches going round, and I'm just going to move my stitch marker now so that it goes round to the back, so it's just tucked in, so I know that that's the beginning of this round should I lose count. So I'm going to do another round here, and you may have guessed what the pattern is if you know how to do a circle. So you're going to do an increase of 2 stitches, and then this time we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, adding it to this is 5 because we're on row 5, so that kind of helpful way of looking at it. So that's my first of my 1 double crochet, second of my 1 double crochet, and then third of my 1 double crochet. Again, I'm going to continue in the same fashion, so I'm going to do an increase, 1, 2, 3. Now that's how you're going to keep increasing, so you go as wide as you want to go for the base of your basket. So it could be that you've got 10 rounds, it could be that you've got 7 rounds, so you just keep going until you've got it as wide as you want it, and then I'm going to show you how to bring up the sides. So I have now completed 7 rounds of the base, and I'm going to start working up to make the sides to go up. Okay, so I've now completed 7 rounds, which gives me 42 stitches in total on the outside edge, and now I'm going to start working up the sides. So don't forget, you can go as wide as you want or you can go smaller, but this is how we're now going to bring the sides up. So I'm going to now work I'm just bring my stitch marker yarn forward so I know where this round finished in case I lose count. And for this round only, I'm going to work into the back loops. So normally I would put my hook through both of those top of the stitch there, but now I'm just going to put my hook into that back loop, and I'm going to work my double crochet into that back loop only, and that just helps bring up the sides a little bit more defined to make the difference between the base and the bottom. So I'm only going to do 1 stitch in each of the stitches, and that's going to be 42 altogether. So there's my first one. I'm just going to do the next one. So again, into the back loop, make my stitch, my double crochet, making sure I'm grabbing my cord yarn as I go around, and I'm just going to work my way all the way around into that back loop. You don't have to do this. I just find it gives a nicer kind of definition between the bottom and the sides, but you could just work as you've been doing into both loops, but I just kind of like that detail there. So again, just into the back loops, grabbing my cord yarn and just working my double crochet stitches, 1 in each of the stitches from the previous round. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to come back when I get back to the beginning. So there we go, I've finished that round now of just working into the back loops, and as you can see, it's given us that nice lip, so it's a defined different direction from just going outwards. We're now definitely going upwards. So I'm probably just going to speed up the footage here now, because I'm just going to keep now working rounds into, so I'm just going to work into both loops this time, not just the back loops, and just keep doing 1 double crochet into each of the stitches from the previous round, and you just keep going same way as that you would just keep going for the width of your base. You just keep going for however high you want the sides of your little basket to be. So as you can see, really versatile little project. You can absolutely use anything you want instead of cord. I've seen people use fabric, so you could use fabric strips. I've actually made one with that t-shirt material kind of yarn, if you might have seen. I found that quite hard to work with my hands, so I actually just used it as the middle part of the basket. Yeah, fabric, any kind of cord, so maybe some Hessian cord would be really nice if you used a white cotton for the joining body yarn. Okay, so I've gone round now and done all my side rounds. I could go further if I wanted to, but for this purpose of this video, I think I'm going to hold it there. So I'm just going to show you how I finish this off. So just take your cord yarn and let it fall to the back, and I'm just going to do 2 slip stitches. So there's 1 slip stitch and then another there, and that's all I do. And then I can just trim off this here. So I'm just, let me show you. So let me just cut my thread and finish that off with a putting the yarn through the loop and putting that nice and firm. So that just finishes it off. And now what I'm going to do is what am I going to do? Let's just trim that off and tidy up my space. Okay, so we've got this end and we've got this end, so I'm just going to turn this inside out, and this end I'm just going to trim off. It's because it's on the inside, no one's going to see it. It's not going to come undone because it's nicely caught by all these nice stitches. I'm going to pull out my stitch marker yarn, and then I'm just going to sew in this end here and this end here, and I'm going to cut this yarn like this. If you're worried about it, you could just put some of that fray stop glue on the ends there, but honestly it's not going to go anywhere. So there we go, finished little project there, cute little basket. You don't have to use these mad colours. I was mainly doing it so you could see, but also I do like these colours. And just quickly, I'll just show you, I've made some in some other sizes so that they actually all sit quite nicely as a little nest of baskets, which is also really pretty in itself. So this one in the video that I did, I did 7 rounds at the bottom. I think I did 7 up the side as well, so 7 rounds up the side. This one I did 8 rounds at the bottom, and then I did 8 rounds up the sides, and then this one was 9, so 9 rounds on the bottom, and I did 9 or maybe 10, anyway, it's by the by. 9 rounds up the side, so it's quite a nice little rule of thumb, but obviously you can make them as tall or as short as you like. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, I'd love a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. That would be really appreciated. If you did, really helps the channel. And yeah, let me know if you've got any comments, suggestions in the comment section down below. Anyway, take care, see you soon, bye.